Hi everybody, I'm going to start by using a piece of our formula sheet because we are going to solve for the volume of a square base pyramid, the surface area of a square base pyramid, and the volume of a cone. Now the volume for a square base pyramid is V equals 1 over 3 big B H. Surface area is 1/2 LP plus big B. Notice I only put an S there because if I type SA, it's not going to work. And we'll use this volume formula for your cone a little bit later. You have to be very careful when using these because you want to make sure that you get everything in the right place. So let's start with this problem. It says, what is the surface area of the pyramid? So I know I want surface area, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to ask myself some questions. Does my calculator know what 1/2 is? It does. Does it know what L is? It does not. I'm going to have to tell it, okay? And then, does it know what P is? Nope. I'm going to have to tell it that too. Then finally, does it know what big B is? Nope. I'm going to have to tell it that as well. Okay? So this is the formula we're using right here. Surface area equals 1/2 slant height times perimeter of the base plus big B. So first, let's draw some pictures. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw or try to draw a square. Just pretend. This is my base. Now, if I can make that an A, that's my base. My base, if you'll look here, is 8 centimeters on one side. So I know that this is 8. I know this is 8. I know that is 8, and I know that is 8. How? Because I know my base is a square. Now, L right here is the slant height. Goes by L, but it's called slant height. Okay, and that's right here across the side. I think they called it L because a lizard could crawl all the way up the side of that pyramid. So let's go ahead and we're going to put the L in, which is 10. Next, we're going to go to perimeter of the base. To find perimeter, you have to add up all 4 sides. So we're going to start with 8 plus 8, plus 8 plus 8. I added 4 8s because there are 4 sides. Now, I need to figure out what big B is. Remember that big B is the area of your base. And how do you find the area of a square? Well, you multiply side times side. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to multiply 8 times 8. And then I'm going to scroll down. And my surface area is 224 centimeters squared. It's squared because it is surface area. All right. The next one says the height of the square base pyramid is 18 inches. What is your volume? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to not use this formula anymore since we're going to do volume. And down here at the bottom, that cone formula keeps sneaking up on me, but it's okay. We'll use it later. So we are going to find the volume of a pyramid. So again, I'm going to go ahead and ask myself some questions. Does my calculator know what 1/3 equals? It does. But it doesn't know big B, and it doesn't know H. So I'm going to have to tell them those things. Now, right here is my H. And if you look, it says the height of the square base pyramid is 18 inches. I like pictures, so I'm going to write 18 right there so I don't forget where it goes. That is the height. Now for my base. Again, this is a square base, so I'm going to draw a square, well, as best I can. Okay? And I see down here at the bottom that the square is 15 centimeters on one side. So that means it's 15 on all four sides because, again, it is a square. Now, how do I find the area of the base for this? Let me go ahead and write base here. I've been doing that and I don't want to be inconsistent. There you go. So how do I find big B? Well, you do side times side. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to do 15 times 15 because that finds me the area of the base. So that means the volume of our pyramid is 1,350, and that would be inches cubed because it is volume. So it would be inches cubed. Okay, so now let me get rid of these. And I think my cone formula is probably going to get some use now. All right, this says, what is the volume of the cone? Well, right down here, I have the volume of a cone formula. I copied it off my formula sheet earlier, and here we go. Now we're going to use it. So ask yourself some questions. Does your calculator know what 1/3 is? Absolutely. Does it know what pi is? Yes, it does. It does not know r, and it does not know h. So let's come right here. If I start in the middle and go out to the edge, that is a radius. So all I have to do is type 2.1. Then my height always drops to the center with a right angle. So that means my height is 4.3. So total volume of this cone is, let's round to the nearest whole number. So it's 20 centimeters and its volume, so it is cubed. Okay, I'm going to read the whole thing before I do anything because I didn't the last time and it got me in trouble. A cone's base has a radius of 6 and a height of 10. A cylinder has the same measurements. The volume of the cone is blank the volume of the cylinder. So first let's talk. The cone is smaller. So I'm going to write cone, if I can spell it, is smaller. And the cylinder is bigger, right? So that would mean our choices are 2 times, 3 times, half, or 1/3. So if our cone is smaller and the cylinder is bigger, that means the volume of the cone is going to be 1/3 the volume of the cylinder. It's going to be smaller than the volume of the cylinder. So if you have the smaller thing first, it is 1/3 the volume of the cylinder.